What you are about to listen to is a rejected proposal for MTF Epsilon 5 Reddawn Team Handbook. Killing the Enemies and His Family Too, by Captain Dmitri Arkadeyevich Strelnikov.
So, you are decided to join MTF Epsilon 5 Reddawn. Welcome. I am glad that you choose to be interested in this team. But I warned you, it's not all fun in game. Being combat soldier is not for everyone, and hopefully this guide is explain some of this to you to help you make sure this is what you really want. If you are already part of team, please do get back to work. I only want you to be reading when you are off duty. Thanks you. This guide is breakdown into several chapters, which I outline for you below to keep this easy in case you are stupid like Agent Yorick, who is a worthless human being, and let it be known that if he ever is tried to break into my bunk again, I will murder him. Contents. Chapter 1. Rules for Make-Live By. Chapter 2. Choosing Weapon. Chapter 3. Killing the Enemies. Chapter 4. His Family. Chapter 5. Chechens and Why I Hates Them. Chapter 6. How to Drive Tank. Chapter 7. Babies and How to Care for Them in Battle. Chapter 8. Who You Shoot on Sight. Chapter 9. Beak Wetting. Do's and Don'ts. Chapter 1. Rules for Make-Live By. These are just few of rules that I think will be helpful to you to remember when you are in hard times or down on luck, like impoverished child growing up in Moscow subway. Sometimes you must sleep in dark place, but if you remember these rules, maybe you leave subway one day, go to work, and get job in steel mill, and maybe you can even get apartment or car when you retire. Number 1. Bring enough bullet. Sometimes in battle you will find that you have run out of bullet. Bad luck! This is why it is always important to bring many bullets with you so you does not run out in middle of fight. Number 2. Bring knife or shovel. Even so, nobody can carry enough bullet to last forever, so it is always important to carry good backup weapon. Knife can be used to slit throat of enemy, and shovel can also be used for decapitate them. Number 3. Never is not a toy. Please do not play with or try to take it out for ice cream. It will you. Number 4. Never, ever. No. Never, ever. Do not do this. Number 5. Despite what Dr. Dumont says, cigarettes are healthy, smoking is good. Dr. Dumont is just a gypsy and is lied to you. Smoking will not hurt you. I have smoked for many years and I am just fine. Use me as example next time someone tries to say otherwise. Number 6. Never trust gypsy. Chapter 2. Choosing Weapon. MTF Epsilon 5 has been allocated large stock of weapons. I have list most appropriate below. While I leave choice ultimately to you, I prefers we try to keep standard caliber. And by that I means 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 54R, or 5.45 millimeter, because there is no reason that you ever need to use any different calibers than this. It's simply bullshit made up by gypsy westerner to make you believe that Soviet design weapon is inferior to western complicated bullshits like AR-15. AR-15 is shit. It uses direct impingement system, which is basically same as poops where you eats. Kalashnikov series of weapons. Any is fine from AKM to 74 to 100 series. Just make sure you bring lots of bullet. See Chapter 1. SVD designated marksman rifle. Sexy, very nice. Please get if you can, otherwise Mosin Nagant is fine. PKM squad automatic weapon. Very important to have. Good gun, strong, very powerful. Chapter 3. Killing the Enemies. In war, you learn many things about killing the enemies. Not all of it I can list here for you, but I try to cover the basics as much as I can. What you must remember about killing the enemies, more than anything else, is that you must be able to do this without hesitation. This is require mental training and conditioning which I leaves up to yourselves to take care of. Here are some things to keep in mind. Your enemies is below you in every way possible. By this, I mean that your enemy is less than human, or rather, you must convince yourself that they are. Dehumanize them as much as you can, and it will make it easier to follow the next step. Hate your enemies. You must hate. If you are to kill, you must be filled with hatred for the enemy. In war, it is only hatred that will keep you alive, and you must be driven to do things that otherwise you would not do. Only pure rage and hatred at your foe will be enough to keep you alive. You must breathe this and let it flow in you like your very blood. When you are able to shank enemies in the neck with your bayonet and not even be slightly bothered by this, when you are able to chop them in face with shovel, to kick them with jackboot and pull their teeth, burn their homes and slaughter their livestock and send one Chechen to next village as a warning for the other bastards, then you have understood what it is to hate. Practice makes perfect. Sometimes you will not have enemies to hate. That is fine. You can practice on anyone, is no matter who. Just go to the cafeteria and stand in line, then look around. Pick someone to hate, then practice hating them. Maybe you get lucky and pick out a then you can. This has always worked for me. Chapter 4. His family. Sometimes killing just the enemies is not enough. Sometimes you must make a point. And when that time is some, there is only one way to do. Chapter 5. Chechens and why I hates them. This ties in with hating peoples. Peoples ask me sometimes, Captain Dmitri Arkadeyevich Strelnikov, twice winner of Order of Suvorov for exceptional leadership under fire and selfless heroism and bravery, one who has saved many children from burning buildings. Just who is it that you hate? Answer is simple. I hate Chechens. Look at this place. They take me from my home and makes me fight in this hellhole. Do you know what that is like? No, you does not. Chechen is scum. Hate the Chechen and his families and break their bones under your boots. Do not rest until... Chapter 6. How to drive tank. It is my beliefs that every good soldier should know how to operate tank. You never know when Chechens pop up and put an RPG into driver's compartment and butcher your driver. And if that happens, then what do? Stationary tank is dead tank, and that is no good. Drive tank is easy. Put both hands on levers, push to go forward, pull for go back. Turn left, right, any ways you want to go. Is easy. Driving tank in combat is different. Like I says above, stationary tank is dead tank. That is means you are want to move as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Stops for nothing, not even cheap whore. If there is something in your way, you drive over it, or around it, or through it. But you do not stop. Oh, beauty! Tank by itself is fearsome. Fast tank is even more fearsome. Fast tank flying through air and trailing dust, flame, and entrails of slain enemy is like hand of God ripping swath through the advancing horde of enemies. They fall to their knees and weep for their sins and beg for forgiveness. And that is when you rip them apart with coaxial machine gun. Chapter 8. Who you shoot on sight. Number 1. Chechens. Shoot on sight. Number 2. Bears. Shoot on sight. Number 3. Wolves. Shoot on sight. Number 4. Fascists. Shoot on sight. Number 5. Zombies. Consult with Dr. Mann first. Number 6. Rabid dogs. Shoot on sight. Number 7. Chaos insurgents. Shoot on sight. Show no mercy. These are less than human. Number 8. SCP-682. Most of the time you will not even see SCP-682, but you must prepare for all things, and this is something to prepare for. SCP-682 is a soulless monster and should be shot repeatedly until he is dead. Number 9. Vegetarians. These people know nothing about food or... Chapter 9. Beak wetting. Do's and don'ts. Beak wetting is sometimes considered to be lost art, especially amongst soldiers. I think it is imperative to understand that beak wetting is not activity to be taken lightly. And with that said, I offer you some of my beak wetting tips that I have learned from experience. Do. Wear condom. Venereal disease is not funny for anyone, least of all yourself. Use your heads. Don't. It is very rude and may get you killed. Please do your best to keep these tips in mind, or else you may end up spitting fire from your Johnson, and nobody is want that. Thank you for reading this manual. I hope it has helped you to be better soldier in serving interests of the Foundation.
Captain Dmitri Arkadeyevich Strelnikov during his time with the 39th Guards Airborne Regiment, 76th VDV Division, Company C. While I understand your concerns regarding this, I do not feel that the document in question warrants a psychiatric evaluation of Captain Strelnikov. Despite some of the admittedly unsettling comments in his writing, he is proven capable of handling himself and his team admirably. I did enjoy your commentary, though. Dr. I feel strongly that this man is a potential menace to humanity. Can we at least investigate medication? I believe there may be some latent anger issues that could manifest themselves negatively in the possible near future. As the good captain says, we should prepare for as many possible issues as we can. Also, pardon my asking, but what exactly has this man done other than scream about Chechens? I can understand having some memories about the war and such, but I think this is a bit extreme. Noted. Refer to documents -1 and -3 for reports of Captain Strelnikov's performance in the incident, and also dealing with the SCP outbreak up north. I think those speak well enough for the man, but as I understand it, Dr. Kondraki also has some good things to say about him. In retrospect, I will consider the medication.